And so instead of faking it until you make it, I think face it until you learn it is what I've learned. Face it until you learn it. Don't fake it until you make it. You can't just perform leadership if you're a black or brown or woman founder, in that way, or coming from an underrepresented community in that way that doesn't have that ease of access to capital. You don't have the benefit of the doubt. So what I've adopted is face it until you learn it. And I think that centered more in my integrity, that centered more in quicker iteration cycles, that centered more in like learning and pivoting and making choices, not in second guessing oneself. I think faking it until you make it also enforces imposter syndrome in really um, uh, harmful ways, versus facing it until you learn it, I think centers you in your agency.
So look, we're in Hispanic Heritage Month. You know, we've made amazing contributions to this great country. Where we still have opportunities to grow is to grow, call it the startup venture space, right? And we need to grow more investors that are putting their capital in, that are getting these great returns, that are learning about this, educating ourselves, right? Supporting these startups, supporting our communities, creating jobs in our communities, creating wealth in our communities.
As the founder, on this phone call, as the builder, the person who creates things, um, biggest piece of advice is just like, what does it look like to get your idea, distill it down to like the smallest little kind of prototype, like little test, and just kind of start to experiment with what that test is. How many AI tools can we just like create a little landing page of some sort, but test and iterate on your idea, and you'll learn so much in that process that will support you beyond the idea phase. Oh, it'd be amazing. Okay, let's convert that into actionable steps and start to put something in the world that people can interface and engage with, and start to show you some information that you can make choices about and adapt and start to follow or let go of, and pivot to something else. I challenge the audience, put your ideas in the world. Go for it.
Take the risk. It's okay if you fail. It's part of the process.